Shure Ultimate DJ Tools M447. Are you armed for battle?
What's up? Here doing Shure instructional video, Sugar Cuts. I'll be moderating this little discussion. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Rapmatic.
Petrix. J-Rock.
Mixmaster Mike.
We're gathered around here in my living room. We got Wiz, Rock Raider, Mr. Sinister, Total E, Rolly Roll, and we're just gonna discuss DJ issues. And I guess I started off by saying that I started out DJing when I was 12 years old, and what attracted me most to DJing was being able to control a crowd, like playing music and watching people just enjoy themselves, and like the various emotions people would show. For me was like a real attraction, opposed to like MCing or graffiti writing. Like I was exposed to a lot of different forms of hip hop, but DJing definitely stood out the most.
And I will attempt to explain the basic steps towards beat juggling. You know, people see like a Total Eclipse or Rob Swift or Mr. Sinister and want to just automatically do all the technical, you know, Method Man routines, biz routines and stuff like that. But there's certain basic patterns that prepare you for that. I'm going to use Phil & James or Funky Drummer by James Brown. And it sounds a little like... So, the first pattern or skill that one should be able to do is tapping the record lightly and letting each sound. All right, for example, here's what the record sounds like, right? Now I'm going to break each sound so that it sounds like a slow version. I'm not slowing the speed down. I'm just tapping each sound slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm tapping the vinyl, and I let you hear the sound. I pick up my hand and let the next sound come in, and then I tap it again to stop it. And you're gonna hear the sounds break down. And this is what it sounds like when you tap the record. So you're slowing the record down, and by tapping the record, you are controlling the record. You're not letting it play. That's the beginning stages of beat juggling, is being able to control the record by breaking each sound that you want to use in the beat juggle, and you got to do it on both sides of the turntable. And at the same time, when you're breaking one turntable down, tapping the record and letting the sounds come in slowly, you're backspinning another. So it's almost like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. You know, it's like it could be confusing at first, but the more you do it, the easier it gets to do. So you want to be able to do that on both turntables. So this is what it sounds like. Then, after you master that, you want to try to get more technical and more technical. So the idea is to always keep expanding on that basic pattern. So be it a scratch or a beat juggle, you want to learn the basics of it and then try to intensify it and intensify it more and intensify it more till you just run out of ways, and then try to intensify more, because there's always more you could do to a turntable. So whereas you may start off doing this, after a while you start adding a scratch like this. So it's, now if you have two people doing that, the one that's adding the scratch in front of it, his is going to sound a little better, And that's the whole point, is to try to intensify what you're doing. Take the basics of it and then intensify, build on it. So that pattern allows you to branch off into other patterns and more complex ways of beat juggling. So let me see, another pattern which Steve D basically invented, which I don't know if there's a real name for it, but people call it the 1-2 pattern, and this is what it sounds like. So I'm going to take this part of the record to do the 1-2 pattern. And in doing the 1-2 pattern, I'm incorporating the tapping the vinyl skill that I explained earlier, tapping the record, lifting your hand up, putting it back down after one sound goes, and then leaving the next sound to come in. So you incorporate that along with being able to throw the sound. In this case, it's hit me, and then the drums come in. I got to throw that in an offbeat way and set it up so that it still sounds like it's on beat. Like as a DJ, when you start backspinning, you learn how to like backspin a word like in sync. Like for example. But when you're doing beat juggles, it's important for you to be able to throw things off beat, but still have the skill to use the tapping of the record to slow things down at the right time so that whatever you're throwing off beat falls back on beat. So with the 1-2 pattern, I'm not just going hit me, hit me, hit me. I'm throwing one off beat and the other on beat, and to make a beat, to make a whole, syncopated rhythm, which is called beat juggling. So here's an example. So it's a mixture of backspinning. On one hand, you're backspinning because you're using both sides. You're going from left to right, right to left. And then you're throwing one of the records off beat and catching snares as well and repeating them. So that's why you call it juggling, is because you're taking the sounds and like repeating them, but you're doing it like in a rhythmic way. You're not just going hit me, hit me, hit me. You're repeating sounds, but in more of a rhythm. And in order for you to do that, you got to be able to throw sounds off beat and manipulate a sound that may come right after you. For example, pay attention to the ending of the pattern is me manipulating the snare on the right turntable. So pay attention to how, like, on the left turntable, I may throw a sound off beat, but the fact that I manipulate a snare on the right turntable, the way the amount of times I may repeat the sound, how I bring it back and throw this turntable back in allows it to stay on beat so that it's syncopated. It's, you could bop your head to it and not get off track or whatever. The reason I think they call it the 1-2 pattern is because you're starting on the left turntable. So, for example, that's the one, the hit me. And then on the right turntable, when you move the fader over to the right side, you're going to catch a snare and repeat it twice. So you have like, one throw in here, and then you catch the hit me, that's the one throw in, and here you catch the snare and you repeat it twice. This is the one. There's the two. Now, from here, I'm gonna attempt to, there's a part in the routine where I make it go faster. This is what it sounds like. And that's, you're incorporating the ability to backspin, tapping the record, and then when you intensify it, now you're incorporating the movement of the fader real fast from left to right, taking each sound and not just using, one hand to slow the record down, but now you're speeding it up using the same technique, tapping the record, but you're going faster now. So the basics could evolve into like a lot of different things, so it's important to know all the easy stuff first. This is what the routine sounds like in its entirety. So that was basically the, a routine I came up with, and the way I did so was by incorporating all the basic things that I've learned and trying to expand on that and applying all the things that I've seen from DJs, from backspinning a particular record to the 1-2 pattern that Steve D created, and you just try to incorporate all that into whatever records you choose to use, and that's about it.
Like West Coast DJs, I think we have like a different thing to look at. I mean, like Mike, up north they have the scratching, and then in LA we had like Aladdin, and we had like a Joe Cooley, and we had Tony G, Julio G. We had like, on the radio every day at 5 o'clock, you can catch someone cutting it up, like from Joe Cooley to Dr. Dre to anybody, and
I think there's also there was a mobile DJ scene both in San Francisco and LA. At one point, even the early DJs, you were doing house parties or doing weddings or high school jams, or even throwing dances in itself. So it's like, I think in the West Coast, both San Francisco and LA, you scratch, but you also mix. So you're doing a mixture of everything and stuff like that. So
beat juggling, basically, composition style. Won't do anything really technical, but it's just basically taking two records. The song I'm going to beat juggle with is called Cramp Your Style. There's basically I would use like the head note right here as the downbeat, and then in between 2 and 3, I do a combination with like going back and forth and cutting and splicing. So I go. Right there is when I transform. Right there, it's different combinations. And basically, so I was just cutting this off. So I was like, basically that's what I was doing. And then so how to drum, basically taking one record and using a kick and a snare that's pretty much was programmed together. So I use Eric B's President as an example. This is the kick. This is the snare. Kick, snare. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a combination of scratching and cutting, and then actually program my own drum patterns and stuff like that. So it's like. What I'm doing is transforming and stabbing and doing a little scribbles in there. There's a combination of scratches and cutting in and out from the kick and snare. So spacing it apart, like just little kick and snare, just little patterns. You can make so many patterns up if if you study a lot of drummers or you listen to a lot of records or drum breaks, and you can try to emulate the drummer, but with scratching. So,
I mean, to me, the way I take it is I like to do as much as possible in little time. Like if I can fit a spin around, if I can fit a shoulder spin or something in my juggle, I want to add it just to keep both ends covered. This way, it sounds good and it looks good, and even though it sounds good, it's technical, and the tricks that I'm doing with it is technical as well. This way, just to keep that balance, My name is Rock Raider from the Executioners.
And what are you going to show us?
Right now, I'm going to go through some body tricks, some combinations. Okay, I'm going to use which is 3 words. I got certain tricks that I do with and certain tricks that I do with just the bells. What I do is I practice it, right? But I practice it from a more realistic approach. Like, for example, if there's a trick where I have to pull the record back a little bit to get to the rock because I'm over here, I'll spin the record back just a little bit more than I would any other time. I do certain tricks with certain parts of the record. Like I might move the fader from behind with my back and go, because you need that little bit of extra time to get it on, and then again you want to keep it on beat, so you need that little bit of extra time that the rock does give you. So it's like rock the bells this way, because there's no other way to do that trick if you go off beat, you're gonna sound off beat. You don't want to do that. So you want to keep the trick sounding clean and looking, and looking. I mean, once you practice it and just really get used to doing the trick, that's the key. You have to get used to doing the trick. You have to be able to execute your trick while you're drunk. Execute your trick while your table is shaking out of control. You have to be confident that you can do that trick no matter what like what's going on. Like sometimes I do sets and I can't even see because they have the lights flashing and all that, and all I can see is my marks. I can't hear, and it's real, so it's like sometimes I have to follow my marks. For this record, for a trick record, I'll use a big nylon mark. This way, if I'm somewhere where there's no light on stage, I always have something to follow. So I'm going to take the Rock the Bells and do, let's say, 3 or 4 combinations. Okay. What happens is, all this at the same time, you always have to remember that I have to backspin this record. So my arm is grabbing this, bringing this back, and going around like that. So the whole thing is, while this is playing, so it's like I'm grabbing the record, getting it in position, and turning around. My shoulder, I call that a shoulder spin off because I go right about here and spin off. I guess it's kind of like being a boxer, how you have a whole bunch of combinations that you learn one at a time, but then you learn how to put those combinations together, and after a while you can just freestyle. You don't have to go up there like, okay, I'm going to do a jab and a body blow. It's like you could be like, whatever, I'm just going to freestyle the whole set.
I don't know, at least in New York, I think that's what they call it out here, but correct me if the term is incorrect, but for like the trick mixing, which I know has to be like juggling, sort of like juggling records, instead of just, getting the tempos correct and blending one record into the next, but actually, juggling the records into each other. Could you explain like how that works, how that came about, and like?
It's just like a basic old school like technique. Like I used to hear like a Red Alert, like back east. They used to hear Red Alert tapes or whatever. Basically, it's just DJing, not really trick mixing or anything like that. That's like, Skratching's turntablism now, but it's just DJing. You're just a DJ. You're just straight. That's what you are. You're a DJ. I mean, you could be a turntablist and all that. That's a cool title, but like for the most part, you're doing the same thing DJs were doing, back in '83. Kool Herc or Bambaataa or whatever. They were just DJs, but like it's just basically like I don't know. I can't even explain it. All right. Right now, I'm just about to demonstrate trick mixing. I'm using Large Professor, Rhymania 99. This is the normal beat. This is basically the loop. And the drums running. So 2 same thing. So I'll just like play that. Basically catching like the backbeat. Like sometimes I'll just like see this one's ahead by 1. See this. Or so that's just the basics right there. And just sometimes you can like take out the snare or whatever when you do it, or you can double up on the snare. Usually, so it's just this one's 1 ahead, and this is the main beat. So one beat ahead. One snare, 1 drum, whatever. 1 note, and then you can really just drop it anywhere. Depends though if you have any style technique or whatever. You can drop any bar, but you always have to keep your main 4 measures for 8 bars or whatnot. So it'd be see, that's just a basic, and then you now it's back to the, and that would be, that's back to, see, they're both the same now. Or you could, this is Mellow D style. This is from Mellow. He would do the same thing, and then he would double up. Back to normal. More advanced, like to get locked in it, like to really, that's like the basic, your basic idea, what I basically do, or what you basically would do. Like the 4 back or the 1 ahead or all that. So like, if you're really doing, like trying to really do something, you could like, you could just start off with that. We'll just start with that, speed it up. Tempos have to be the same, of course. And then say you wanted to creative mix. Say I'm gonna go into Mobb Deep Quiet Storm and like creative mixing, just trying to do something different, not really just play one record. Like you could do this. Most DJs, when you're mixing, you would probably like throw it in, or you can mix it, or you could doesn't sound too great together, but you can bass line. I'll just do basic. Same principle from the Rhymania, 1 beat ahead. So then that was basic mix. Or for the real skills, no, I'm just joking. The real. Or you see, that's the basic mix. That's like a mix right there. Trick mix or whatever. Just to be something different, unusual. You don't want to be like the normal, just throw it in type of DJ. That's why I started to do what I did. I didn't want to be just your normal guy in the streets, you know what I'm saying? So I'll speed it up a little. Shout out to Retmatic, always in the place.
It's the rap.
Or you can do breaks, same principle on breaks. This is Sing Sing. It's by a group called Gaz. It's on the South Soul label. It's an EP, but I'm using Ultimate Breaks right now. Number 4. Every DJ should have these. See, that was just basic mix. We'll just do basic. Now 4. Bring it 1 back. basics of trick mixing right there. Pretty complicated, but not really. Once you learn the hang of it.
Pretty creative.
Pretty creative mixing. There you go. That's what it was. Creative.
What kind of style do you call it?
Beat junkie style, of course, though. That's called the beat junkie style. Influence Red Alert, Dr. Dre, like all the West Coast cats that mix, basically. But that's about it.
It's like a guitar player. I mean, you can play the guitar, and that's the sound you get. But there's so much more you can do by running it through different effects and changing it up. That I figured, why just settle for that? Let's take it a step further. Let's see what else we can do.
I'm here to demonstrate a few effects that you can use with turntables and scratching. A lot of people may not be into effects. That's still kind of new as far as DJs are going, and you may not know what a particular effect sounds like, and that's basically what we're here to do, is just show you some options. And this is a wah-wah pedal. There are several different types. This one's made by Vox. That's why it says Vox on it. And when you step on it, it has a button that gives an on and off. What's an on and off switch? That's what it is. And this is basically the sound you get. As you bring it down, you get more of a low end. Some of the highs come out, and you get like a filter effect on it. And it sounds more like a guitar, I guess. It's basically guitar shoes in it. So that's basically what a wah-wah pedal sounds like. This is a Chaos pad. It's made by Korg, and it's a multi-effects unit that has a touch screen here, and the effects work on the XY axis, or horizontal vertical axis. And as you move your finger up or across or diagonal, it changes the effects. This one is real cool. I like. It's like a filter cutoff. It gives a cool effect. I was thinking, well, since you have to touch the screen to change the effects, how can you scratch the record, move the fader, and do all that at the same time? But it has a hold function on it. So if you find like a certain area that you like the way it sounds, you can hit the hold and it'll stay on that effect. It's a phrase sampler. This particular phrase sampler is made by Boomerang, and I think it's one of the better ones. What you can do with this is, as you scratch or whatever it is you're doing, even if you're just playing a beat, you can start recording. And as soon as you stop recording, it'll loop it and play it back, so it'll be seamless. If you're doing a drum pattern and you record it, as soon as you stop recording, it'll keep drumming, basically. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Now you can take another sound, like the guitar we used earlier, and you can add that to it, on top of it. And if you want to add another scratch to it, and that's basically that. But you can lay down like a drum track, a bass line, a hi-hat track, your scratches over it, and just build an entire song just right there as you play it.
I'm into like really producing scratch soundscapes and actually trying to make music of the art, and taking it live on the road with me and trying to perform the songs as I do on my records. Really trying to make music out of the art, really. Scratch producer, Scratch traffic controller.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Mixmaster Mike, by the way. Yeah. Invisible Scratch Pickles, DJ for the Beastie Boys. Planet Draconis, And I got this trick here where you purposely make the record skip. So it's a Moog skip. So purposely skipping, I have a drum cut underneath this one, underneath this sound. So I use the up and downs with these two fingers, and I create like my own song. Then you can always break it down. Then I'll go solo on the drum. What? Okay, so it's called the record skip trick. I grab a sticker and locate the exact groove on where the tone is. As you see, you really have to have a sharp eye for this trick. You really have to just place the sticker right on the intended Moog sound you want to make skip. So you grab it, you put it on there. It's like, this is my record, by the way, called Anti-Theft Device. So it'll go like this. Skip, 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 and then drum. I use these two fingers right here. This finger, the index finger, controls the drum scratch, and this finger controls the Moog skip. So I'm really going like this. And this is the Moog. So then so that's that. The Moog skip scratch. This is a little horn that Public Enemy used. So this is what it is. Those who are familiar with sampling and stuff like that, that's that thing that Public Enemy used. And then you throw in a beat, and then you start the tweak. When I do the tweak scratch, it's basically just cutting the power off. That's how I discovered it. I tripped over the cord of my turntable one day, and well, actually, our electricity got cut out for some reason. We didn't pay our bill, and I just wanted to find out a way how to scratch. So I plugged in my speakers, battery-operated speakers, plugged in my turntable, and then I was just, I need to scratch some way. I need to find a way. So I found tweak scratch. Right now, I'm just like moving the platter with my thumb, and basically just creating rhythms. A platter wave tweak. So with both of your hands, turn power off on the turntable, and then kind of like give it a push. Kind of like playing the bongos, you know, like bop, 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 bop. So I'm like just like moving the platter with both of my hands. And that way you play a percussion. So that's the tweet scratch. Okay. Basically, what I'm going to do here is there's 3 noises I work with, and there's a long, screaming, old dirty bastard sound, which is that, and then there's a horn stab, which sounds like this, and there's a percussive drum beat sound, which is snare bass. Okay, so I'll basically do a routine with one record, sounding like, you know, like this. Drum. Stab, 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 and the tone. Drum. Scribble. And end. So that's one turntable trick. Okay, say if it's skipped, it's on a different part.
Okay.
As long as I know where that snare and that bass is, I know where it is. It's like I'm looking at a clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So I know, for some reason, I just know that if it's skipped, like, I don't know, 8 beats, it's like 3 turns back, and then I'll get that.
You'll find it.
This. So say if it skipped like half a mile or something, you just like. It's all about like finding your way home after it skips. This is home. The horn stab is home. Then you know where everything is after that.
I try to be funky and soulful, but Sinister is funky to like the 10th power, you know, like if I make your head bop, he makes your head bop like Carter, you know what I'm saying? And it's something about Sinister's beats that just sound real funky. So like, what is it about you think that, you know, or like when you sit down to in front of the turntables, like is it your record selection or?
Well, I think like I listen to a lot of music, like different types of music, like R&B, hip hop, and some rock music. So it's like my musical, the way I listen to beats and stuff like that, and when I sit down to do a routine, is like I just want to make it pattern, like a song. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's beat juggles, like for instance, like the kick, like the double kick snare pattern, the boom boom bap, stuff like that. And after seeing that, and after when I sat down with the Method Man, I just was like, damn, you know, I could take this somewhere. I could take this to the next level, and by rearranging things, like maybe a kick right here, and maybe take a hi-hat that somebody wouldn't think of using, and put it over here. But at the same time, the snare gets caught back there. So as it's going along, it's just a whole routine. It's like a track. You know what I mean? It's like it changes like every 4 bars. Mm-hmm. Like it's 4, then it changes another 4. Another 4, it'll be another pattern. Then the next 4 will be another pattern. You know what I mean? As many switch-ups as possible. And that's when I sit down and do my beats, that's what I think about. I think of them as tracks. All right. My name is Mr. Sinister, represent the Executioners. And right now, I'm going to display a style of beat juggling. I'll be using this part right here. This is the execution point. That's the part I'll be using. And then on this side too is the same. All right. So now, we're going to start. And you have to have like a point of execution, an intro. So for this particular juggle, some DJs use like word juggles, like word intros to intro what they're gonna do. But this one in particular, I'm just gonna start with the record to let people hear what it is. So let's start. Right now I'm catching the point of execution, backspinning, to set me up. Now the next part I'm going to be using is this part right here, after this. Okay, so that's going to be the second part I backspin to lead into the routine. So then it goes like this. Now I'm spinning back the part. Okay. Now after this part, now I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to make it slower than what it is. I'm going to make it sound like my version of the song. And I'm going to start from this part. This is going to be the execution point. Same point. So I'm going to start from there. Now I'm going to slow it down. This is the first segment of the beat juggle. I do this for 4 bars. Right now, I'm slowing it down. I'm taking the execution point in the beginning, which is this, and I'm using on the other side this part, which is right after the execution point. And sometimes certain patterns that you do, you could throw a certain part in, and when you put the fader back, it automatically comes on like this. On this side, I use this, and then I use this point on this side. Then after I go boom, I put the fader over to this, and then I push the fader back, and the snare automatically falls. So just throw that in, let that go, throw that side in, and then put it back, and the snare automatically comes. This pattern right here, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'm gonna try to do it. It's the same pattern, the 1, 2, 3, but then it goes to another level where I'll cross the fader real quickly. Basically what it is like this. I'm gonna do it slow so you can see it. After the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, do. 1, 2, 3. I'm catching a little bit of each side of the record, but always going back to this point. So.
So I do that for 4 bars. Now you switch up, swing. Now I take it down to a different part, which is a snare. Another part, which is right here. So it's like. Now it's still 1, 2, 3, but it's actually moving the fader fast to actually catch little pieces of each side of the record, okay, which is this. Notice how the snares are going 3 times, bap, 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 but it's swinging. All this is 1, 2, 3, 4, catching different little pieces of the record. Okay, now this is a different segment, which is this. On this side, same thing. So now you have the same pattern, 1, 2, 3. But now it's a swinging pattern that you throw in. Yeah, I'd rather do it. Now you have. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Now you got. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, next part is now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 is this. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From this point of the routine, it gets more advanced. You know what I mean? So I just bring it all the way down the line.
That's the end?
That's the end.
It's like most people that juggle, that maybe put the records they're using on 45, it sounds like the record's on 45. But for some reason when Eclipse does it, it's fast, but it doesn't sound as fast. Like it still has a real funk to it. And I haven't seen any DJ match that yet. Like like what is it about that style that you like?
Just all the influences of me just liking hype music. You know, like I'm not really like the laid back cat. You know, I would like thrashing like music. You know, but still funky at the same time. So that pretty much describes what I do on stage.
my concept of this song, of flipping or whatever, it was like one of the famous breaks that I always wanted to flip, but you know, from the break, Ain't We Funky Now will create a build-up, you know, for like the drums to come in and everything. So with the Ain't We Funky Now, I just backspin it, get the crowd hyped, get the crowd motivated. So basically, I'm just backspinning like the theme of it, and then I add my own flavor. When I think of the routine that I'm coming up with, like, I just practice, keep coming up, you know, with like different patterns until it fits, whatever, and then whatever pattern fit with the transitions, I just go with that pattern. Like just basically from the beginning break, get the crowd motivated. That's my first transition, and then go into another pattern. Catch a kick here into a snare. So basically what I'm doing is going into another transition right after that pattern. And you have to hit like this, the kick and the snare like perfect or whatever, just like beats or whatever. Like the kick have to hit, you know, constantly after the end of the bar, like back, 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 to be like a complete beat. So that's what I do. I try to get all the kicks and then combine it, you know, into like a juggle, as if it's like a song. This when I go into like all the backspinning real fast and doing like different body tricks, you know, to get the crowd like more into it. And then I'll just hit them with the total impact. So I'll just go into like different patterns until like the kill, which is at the end. Well, you get the point.
That's like, a lot of my stuff is all accidents. Like, sometimes I'll just like bump the power off, and then all of a sudden I just keep beat juggling, and then I'm like, damn, that sounds dope. And then like, accidentally got the fader in the middle, and I hear like a cool sound. Well, I just want to keep that and just keep adding on to it.
Is that advice too?
I guess, I mean, just like keep your mind open. Like, you don't know what you're gonna hear, you don't know what you're gonna do. And then, I mean, just like apply what you do. Like, try different stuff to it. You never know what will come out. Just gonna do some beat juggling, like my style, I guess, beat juggling, like little innovation, more technical style. I'll be using Business by De La Soul. Be using like the beginning part for like little intro. Probably up to there.
That's
So,
little beat
sure.
juggling.
Yeah, tell me a couple of things you were
Okay,
doing.
like just at the beginning, just use this beginning part. Like what Jay was showing, just like basic trick mixing before. Just like little stuff to like to get into it. And just back spinning. Just like back spinning at the beginning, and then just like he's doing like one in front of the other to do like a roll effect. Then just like some back spinning there. Like I'm kind of like it's like a fill in, like a hi hat, but like it takes the place of a hi hat, just like a push.
Okay.
With the snare and like a little sound.
What are you doing on this side?
This time just like using the kick, pretty much just using like the kick and the snare, and pretty much. Like that. And then stuff like with one on 45, and then one on 45, one on 33, just pretty much like drumming on each side and making the beat juggle at the same time. Yeah, this side is like that. I'm like doing the same thing with the 45 and the 33 to give it a different sound effect. And then it's just pretty much like a combination of that and just doing like a backwards with this side. So it's like this side would be like a sound like that and like a little drum in between. It's like just like a little change up of the pattern before. Just gonna add that in there. And then pretty much like I do like a backwards of both sides, so it'll be like and then like more like a broken down part. Pretty much that, and then I do like a part with the back, where I pull it backwards, and a push at the same time. And then pretty much like the last pattern is just like with the power off. Sometimes like my turntables be off, and I'll just sit there messing with it, then just make a beat out of it. Just accidentally turn it off sometimes. And then at the end, I was just doing pretty much like a one record beat juggle, just kind of like drumming, but it's like kind of like beat juggling at the same time, but just one record. That's pretty much it.
You know, not to be asked out or anything, but I am like just to say to you guys, because I am the product of what you guys done. Okay, I just gotta say that. Where you see Ross Swift doing his swings, going like boom bap boom bap boom bap, to Total Eclipse's fast juggling, which is like do 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 da do 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 da do da, from Raiders like body tricks and stuff, which you know I can't even do it and stuff. But yeah, I tried my best. And to Ross and to Sinister's funkiness, like the SWAT. You know, I try to combine all those and try to do what's been done, you know, and try to make it into another level. Sup, Willie Roll, 5th platoon. All right, chill. Basically, I'm gonna show you my sucker routine, which this routine influenced me a lot to do other routines and stuff. It's actually one of my fastest routines. Juggles, beat juggling and stuff. So that's basically what I am. When I created this routine, I was thinking battle-wise. I was like, yo, how can I take a guy out, or how can I diss a person at the same time battle, beat juggling. So these things had everything. It had from the beginning like, hey yo, you want to battle? Hey yo, you want to battle? You know, that's like a good beginning and stuff, you know. It's EPMD's song, Bandwagon and stuff. So it and right after that, right after I play it.
Hey yo, you want a battle? I'm good to G.O.
I put it on 45 minus 8 to speed things up. So now I'm setting up. I'm thinking like, what am I going to do while this is playing? So I say to myself, hey, let me mess with the pitches. I'll go 33 and 45. So it's like I'm doing something. I'm not just like battle. I'm good to G.O. You know, I'm not flossing or waiting anything. I want to do something and stuff. So basically, this is how the first part sounds.
Hey yo, you want a battle? I'm good to G.O.
Now, so that's my intro. Usually when I beat juggle, I create stories. Meaning, like I would create the starting, you know, how it starts off, hey yo, you want a battle? That would be, and then I would start, and that would be, hey yo, you want a battle? Go to GL, and what you just heard with the 45 plus A minus A, that's my intro. Now I'm gonna get to the story. Okay, so this is how the story goes. Just cueing, it's just simple cueing, back cueing. Now I want to add like a word on it. So I was waiting for a while, and it came with the word sucker. I was like, oh, dip, that sounds cool. So let me try to add that to it. So I was just back cueing. I was waiting for it, and then sucker. So it's basically all in timing. So that's where the sucker came in, and I'm like, yo, that's some battle shit. You know, I'm gonna take everybody out, man. Yo, I'm gonna win. So you know, fortunately I didn't. So that's the. So then there's other stuff. There's other things that are on it. Sucker. Sucker. Now this is the story. It's basically just doubling. I was like, dang, that's really sounds too bland. Let me add the diss. Let me backtrack it. Let me cue it back to the sucker. So there'll be added more flavor to it. So now I have a story, you know, that has hard words and stuff. Sucker. So I'm calling the person out and everything, and I'm like, wow, now I gotta hit him. Now I gotta hit this beat some more. So I'm gonna go to the next level, which is basically more beat juggling, taking the fader back and forth. Yeah. So it sounds like there's taking the two records, beat juggling it, and try to make all the snares come out. So there's like a lot of snares coming out, and it's like flying all over the place. That's what I wanted to do with this beat too. I was like, wow, okay, so all those snares came out. Now I wanna bring it back and say, you know, sucker to the guy. So I just cue it back. Sucker. Now the main purpose of the beat juggling is also breaking it down, making syncopated beats. So now it comes to my part where I start breaking it down and bringing it more into more deeper concept of beat juggling. So I'm actually breaking it down to a different song now. So I figured, wow, that looks simple. But if I bring it back more, I got the snare behind the snare, and it's hot. You know, it's almost the same concept also. So I try to make it look hard too. So there's a secret into this. you could tell like this is the same what I'm doing now. Hey, hold on. So I bring it back to make it look harder. Voila. Reason why I did that because it just looks hard, that's all. So then just adding some styles into it. Then I ended off with a broken chase. In the East Coast it's called chase, in the West Coast it's called strobing. And what it is taking the record and one would follow right after the other. Okay? For example. See, one would follow right after the other. That's what a chase is. A broken chase. Well, broken chase is my term. I don't know if people use it, but broken chase is like where you take one or the other, left or right, and you're breaking only one down. You're breaking this down, while this is always being held. Like the sound will come out, but you would always bring it to that sound, the same sound. So you're not tapping both of them down. You're just tapping this down. Okay. See how it is? I'm bringing on my right hand. I'm bringing it down. On my left hand, I keep holding it. So that's what I call broken chase. And now I wanted to think of an ending. So the ending sounds like this. I said, oh, cool. All right, so they have the sound that sounds like it has the same sound like 4 times, right? And I was first, my ending was like actually gonna be a body check. All right, I was like, wow, it seems too hard, man. So I was just figuring out one. I was trying to figure like trying to slow it down or something, see how it sounds different. I was like, wait a minute, I could actually change the pitches. It's like, that'd be a cool ending. So it'll be like, bring it lower to 33, back to 45. And that's how sucker routine is made. All right, this is called the sucker routine.
Hey yo, you want a battle? I'm good to G.O.
Peace.
I'm still influenced today. Like, whereas I may not be as influenced by Steve D today, now I'm maybe more influenced by like a younger DJ, like a Petrix, let's say. You know, like I think it's important to, like as Wiz said, open your mind and allow yourself to take in all the information as far as DJing is concerned that is put out there every year, because if you shut your mind and close your mind off to like one particular style or one particular like era of DJing, then you don't allow yourself room to grow, you know? And that's where the I always emphasize like longevity, being able to stick around and cut alongside the younger DJs and still hang.
Okay, P-Trick, show us what you're using.
He's doing lead vocal, I guess, vocals.
Let me see it normal.
Check it out.
And now cut it low.
Check it out.
Okay. J-Rock?
I'm gonna do the I guess the 4 bars, the count in, and the head note, so it'd be.
Explain what you mean by that. Like
to tell everybody when to come in. So every like 4 bars, that would be every 4 or every 8, so we know when like Rhett will tune out or he'll switch up or something like that. So like he'll know when to start, and he'll come in right there instead of just coming in on it. I don't know. Sounds a little better.
And what do you got, Rhett?
I have a kick and snare, bukkake, which basically I'll play the role of a drummer. So that's the sound of that.
Play it normal, and I'll play it like what you're gonna try to do with it. Just do it a couple more times. And tell us what you are again.
I'm the drummer.
Okay. And Mike?
Hi, Mike, and I'll be on the Rhodes Moog machine. It's kind of like a Dick Hyman Moog. Kind of like a keyboard player.
Alright, do it normal. Just play it normal. Without a mix up. Mic effect on it. Alright. So how do you start? That's what I need to know. Who starts it?
I'll kick it off with just that, with that sentence, and then everybody will come in.
We'll build
we'll build it up from around there.
Are you ready?
No, my man's getting his cut ready. Let me switch his name. You have
let's hear this.
I want to get a different head note, so that's not really cracking. So what record is that I have at which one? What am I using in our routine for tomorrow?
Wasn't it the heavy petty breaks?
No. It's one of D. You have like D style breaks.
I don't have none of these yet.
All right.
Whippersnapper.
Wait, take it real quick.
Tell us what you just did.
I switched up from what I was using before to something a little bit more in it. So it's just not a boom. So it's just
I have a love for it. You know, you have to have that love for it. And I think if you have that love for it and appreciation for the art, and you're not just getting into it as a fad or it's the new thing or it looks cool, you know, you'll go a long way. You know, you'll definitely go a long way, and you know, the intention that you have while you're practicing will be pure, and you'll be able to come up with like just so many different styles, and you'll get good just on your intentions, you know, like where you're coming from. Is it like your heart that's into it, or are you just doing it to get like fame? You know, I wonder like what happened to DJs that have won battles and you don't hear from them ever again. You know what I'm saying?
I know a lot of people that go to a battle and they'll see it and they're like, oh man, I want to do that. I want to DJ. That's cool. They see everybody cheering and they think they're going to get the girls and they're going to enter a battle and get mad money. Right. And you're not going to get a lot of money. All right? Don't quit your day job. There are not a lot of people living off this. I mean, there are a few people here that are lucky enough to recently be able to maintain off of that. But don't count on it. Do it because you love it. Because like Rob said, if none of us were known, I'm sure we'd all still be at home right now practicing, whether anybody knew us or not.
Till now, like you got kids like P-Trix that you see all the influences, like the influences that, like for example, groups like the X-Men have probably had on them, or the Skratch Pickles. But now you see how like it's grown. You see the little influences, but you see how like he took ideas and tried to incorporate them into his personality and take shit to the next level, which is like one of the most important things for any up and coming DJ is to like, it's okay to learn and it's okay to even bite. Like I myself, I'm guilty of doing routines that other DJs have done when I was younger coming up and learning them to the T, from the way they started it to even the mistakes, how they did their mistakes to everything. And it's okay to learn and bite, but at the same time, don't go to some show or some battle and try to do the same exact routine that someone else did, because someone in the crowd may not know that that routine originated from Total Eclipse, let's say, and may think you created it. And that's like you're doing a disservice to the art and to the person who created that routine. So it's okay to bite and learn from other DJs, but always try to expand on it and take shit to the next level. I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with that. You know, that's the only way you're going to get respect.
What I'd like to talk about today is a couple of basic starting points of how to set your turntables up and how to set your record needles. At Shure, one of the most common complaints we have among young DJs starting out is, my needle skips. It doesn't perform like the guy is in the video. And 9 times out of 10 it comes down to 2 reasons. The cartridge isn't set up for your optimal touch, or you haven't given the cartridge adequate time to settle in. What you want to do is line up the diamond so it's directly underneath the edge of the head shell without using a head shell weight. And you want to align it such that the screws are even with each other, but the tip of the diamond and the tip of the head shell should be in a vertical line. If you're looking at it sideways, they should line up right on top of each other. It's approximately 52 millimeters. Now, depending upon your style, something you can do to increase your skip resistance, or if you're using a straight arm turntable, if your overhang is too far, you can pull it back. And if we'll take a closer look at J-Rock's needle, we'll notice what J-Rock has done. The edge of the diamond is a little behind the edge of the head shell. Third method is to add a head shell weight. The weight's the metal part between the plastic and the head shell. It's 3 grams, and it's not intended to increase the force on the record. It's intended to increase the weight at the end of the tone arm, properly setting up your counterbalance, and we'll talk about that in a second. One trick that a lot of DJs who have very aggressive vinyl technique will do is you'll cock the cartridge at an outward angle. This emulates a straight arm turntable by placing the diamond perfectly tangent or at a right angle to the record groove. When you push forward, there's not a natural inward pull, and when you back here, there's not a natural outward pull. Now let's look at the tone arm setup on the record. This will vary slightly from person to person, but in general you want the tone arm to be level or slightly down. You notice that you want the record needle to glide, but you don't want it to be buried. Now we'll look at Another variation. One of the issues with the 44 series is break-in time. They have a very heavy rubber bearing. And the best way to accelerate the break-in time, in addition to practicing, is to let your needle sit on the platter like this for a couple hours, 2 or 3 nights in a row. One of the things I'd like to demonstrate is how to properly zero out and add weight to a tone arm. So if you have a 3.5 gram weight, you know that you have precisely 3.5 grams. In traditional turntable fashion, what we want to do is pull the head shell weight, or pull the counterweight all the way back, slowly add weight until the needle just floats above the record by itself. That's a little too heavy, so we'll back up. It's just barely floating off. This is our zero balance point. Now, if you'll notice closely, there's a gauge of numbers, and these number gauges move independently of the counterweight. So where if you put it over the record, it's not going to go down. It's just going to do its thing. Just barely float. And we're going to zero the meter, or the reference point to 0. At this point, we have no weight on the arm. To add weight, I just rotate it. That's 1 gram. That's 2 grams. It's 3 grams. 4 grams all the way around. I'm going to leave it at 3.5. So now when I place the needle on, that's precisely 3 grams, which happens to be the recommended tracking force for the 44/7. Now, something that a lot of DJs will do in the unorthodox domain is reverse the counterweight. When we reverse the counterweight, you take it off and you put it on backwards. Now, a lot of people do this out of habit, but what you're doing is you're pulling some of the weight further back, so you're not adding as much weight. When you do this, the dial is useless. It doesn't mean anything anymore, and you're setting it up by touch. One important thing is to only use as much weight as necessary to get the skip resistance for your cartridge. With the Shure cartridges, if you add too much weight, it will increase your skipping. In general, if you add too much weight or more weight than necessary, you also increase your record wear. And as we talked about earlier, a lot of records are hard to find, and we don't want to tear them up unnecessarily. So for this, I'm going to back a little weight off. Had it a little heavy. Some factors that are not related to the record needle that affect skipping. The holes inside your record, over time they'll wear. And if the hole becomes loose, you can see that this platter barely moves. But after hours and hours of juggling, this hole will get bigger. And you can see, if you look really closely, there's a few pieces of Scotch tape on the inside to take up the extra space. Another issue is your slip mat. Your slip mat should be very, very slippery. Most of the time for scratching, your slip mat should not stop the platter. And if we watch closely the edge of the platter, when I pull backwards, you'll see that the platter doesn't stop. Something else that can cause inconsistent performance is if your tables are on an angle. You want your tables to be level and a level playing surface. At some point, I can make anything skip if I hit it hard enough. Anything else?
Also, sometimes on your scratch pads, kids out there, sometimes your scratch pads aren't good enough to slip back and forth by themselves. So what some DJs will do is get the slippery plastic, from a record that you would get, the plastic, and cut it to the form of the record or the form of the scratch pad and put it underneath.
Shure Ultimate DJ Tools M447. Are you armed for battle?